Welcome back to Après STEEP. This week we really don't have a gimmick, so it might just be a straight shot of the vodcast, but I know that the main topic today is throwing me off already, so we'll see how that one pans out. Of course, we have all of the events around the community, including TFG and submissions for ski and snowboard concepts. We will be talking about all of that coming up in episode 11.
Check My Steez 2 has wrapped up, and congrats to the winner, Villain. You had some great use of the camera in your video. Congrats for winning yet another Check My Steez. And the runner-up was Nate Hotshot, coming very close. Now, Check My Steez 3 will be taking place in Foiroux in Aravis in the Alps. That is a mouthful. It's close to the Ultra Naturals. You can find full details, rules, and how to submit over in the Check My Steez Discord, which is linked down below.
Over in Shred This Spot, event number 3 went to Ollie with an incredible run through Kitchik, and shout out to DH3PO for winning Best Trick, Cork 5 over that lamppost with a some Mexi tap. Gotta love it. This is an incredible series. I really hope it gets all of the attention it deserves. Stefan, of course, just steep it, crushing that meme humor as always. I love the conspiracy at the end, but he's not done there. Shred This Spot number 4 is going down at Ruin Castle in Switzerland in the Alps. Of course, you can win exclusive Shred This Spot stickers. Those are holographic. I would love to win one of those, but I know that I can't make it with those big dogs. Submissions close for event number 4 on the 18th of March at midnight. For more information, head over to the House of Shred Discord. We have that link down below.
In Tartiflette Games news, the snowboard slopestyle entries are due this Sunday at midnight. We've already received 11 entries, which is quite a few for this point, so the competition is heating up. Full rules are on our channel or at nickandmitch.com/slopestyle. This is also my last call. We're taking volunteers to judge the Tartiflette Games Season 2, so if you have any interest whatsoever, check out nickandmitch.com/judging. Thank you to everyone who has submitted so far. We can't wait to see what Season 2 has in store.
And finally, we talked about it last week, but because Sofex went above and beyond and gave us so many wonderful ski and snowboard concepts for Riders Republic, we wanted to see what everyone in the community could come up with. So put that pen to paper and come up with an awesome ski or board using the templates that we have linked in a Google album down below. All of this artwork is going to be due in the next week or so, depending on how many people submit. We want to give you enough time if you're really working on a masterpiece here. You're seeing it on screen right now. I'm not sure if Mitch is going to put all 3 of my concepts up just yet, but at least one of them is on screen. I decided to go with kind of a minimalistic nod to Riders Republic. Didn't put any of the wording on this one, but those blue chevrons on the top and those yellow ones, of course, with the "this way up" on the bottom of the snowboard. So, you gotta send it to get that board where it needs to be. This side up, straight up to the sky. I don't know. I hope someone likes it. Hopefully you can come up with something a little better than I did. And of course, we cannot wait to talk about those in an upcoming episode of Après STEEP.
So we've had a topic suggestion channel in our Discord server for a while, and we've pulled some topics from there, but we have passed over quite a few, and we do read through them all, but we have the memory of a goldfish, so if we don't write it down, it can get lost a little bit. But this idea was suggested by Flair, and I love it. I remember seeing it back January 27th when he posted it, and wanted to talk about it, but I think that's around the invitational, so we had a couple topics ready to go. But he had a bunch of different questions all relating to community edits, montages, and movies, such as what role did they have in the community, how are they noticed, what kind do we like watching the most, different ideas like that. So I thought this would be a great discussion to have because we've been seeing quite a few different community edits coming out at the end of Steep's lifespan?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking at this question right now, and it's really stumping me because I have not had a plan. Like, I don't know specifically what role Steep montages and community edits have in our community, besides just the fact that we are trying to be like a social hub for everything that is Steep and Riders Republic. We have our own brand, of course. We have the Tartiflet games, but Après STEEP, Steepcast, the next podcast when the next game comes out, whatever that's going to be. Riders Report, that's the name of it. All of those different vodcasts, whatever you want to call them, are kind of just a culmination for all of the community members once a week to come together and say, hey, look at all the cool stuff that's being put out by, riders in the community. So I guess on a first look on just the surface, I guess that's the role that they have in our community, is that we are just a hub for all of this information, for all of these videos, for all of this content to kind of just mash up and, get to know each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. And the way I like to look at edits, montages, movies, anything kind of creative that's put together goes above the level of just posting kind of a cool clip or a cool trick that you did in the game.
Of course.
That's something that someone else can go in, try to recreate that, and that's good. It's great to see how creative you guys get. But once someone puts it into an edit and actually puts some, an idea or like artistic expression behind it, it becomes a completely different thing. And it's fun to watch that person who probably had an idea, a little theme, a story, just something that ties all of those clips together that makes them fit into one video. So it's harder to reproduce, and at the same time, it's just very unique to the person. It's also a great way for people to share some content in the game when they're not so good at competitions or trying to beat the high score all the time or beat the races and the fastest times like us. That's why we kind of started doing edits in the beginning. And it's, just great to work on a project, put it up, and then see everyone react to it. And the Steep community is so great that everyone's supportive and just loves to search out those videos and watch them.
Yeah, I really liked when you mentioned that, that is what we did and that's what we searched for, was to come up with something creative, not just focusing on the scores, not focusing on the technical side of the game. I think that's the biggest role that community edits, montages, movies play in the community. And, with open world games and the way that gaming is going, especially these titles, that world is so big and there is so much to do that you don't just have to follow the rules all the time. You don't have to go from competition to competition. And I don't know of any Steep player who has ever just, played the game the whole way through like a campaign, because they don't encourage a campaign. You kind of just figure it out as you go. And that's the beauty of one of these games, but it allows you to do so much more. You have, albeit not the best, but a pretty good director mode camera that you can capture all of the different angles that you want. There might be some features missing. Keyframes. I'm going to say it one more time so the captions really get it here. Keyframes. But besides that, you have all of these tools at your disposal to really show your personal identity in this game, on the mountains, in the community. And, if you need any more proof, just go and watch the last Shred This Spot from Just Steep It. That ending clip with him and the winner going back and forth about, oh, this is a conspiracy, you won again, another member of House of Shred won this competition again, all of this stuff's going on. And they make light of it, and that's just his thing. We invite Steep to an invitational and we get reamed out because he ends up winning it, and we just kind of bite the bullet and move on. That's our thing. But yeah, and everything makes sense. The world makes sense to me when I put it to terms of music. It's one thing to sit there by yourself and to learn a lick. Not even an entire song, just a very difficult section of one song. Record that and send that out and say, here, look, I did it. Everyone kind of claps and moves on. The next level up is taking that song and playing it beat for beat as like a recreation. You cover the song, and that's okay. That's a little better. You put a little more time and a little more effort into it. And then to top that off, you get everyone together, you come up with a band, and you do a cover, and you take that track, that original track from the artist, out of there, and you say, look, we put all of this time and effort into writing, arranging, editing this entire tune, and now here it is to you. That just hits on a different level than what I do in our music Discord channel, which is just like, hey, look at this tiny little thing that I did. Like, that's okay. All right, little golf clap and move on. It's a different thing when someone comes out and says, look at all of the time and effort I put into this. It shows the love of the game. It shows the dedication to the community, to their craft, and it's just overall, it's awesome. I just love seeing community content because it offers so much more than what the game ever could by itself.
And you mentioned perfectly that it starts to involve a bunch of different people, and that's when it really shines. I know Pancaked has an edit coming out soon that featured Steepest Legend, Unpen or UNH Pen, Nate Hotshot, Lucas Skip. Maybe the biggest one that the community has seen was Red Rum from Just Steep It that had over 10 riders involved, and he's putting together a new one too for the end of Steep where everyone could kind of submit clips. So you're managing a massive project at that point where you're pulling in all these different people, all these different specialties, and then tying them together into what's going to be a movie from him. The last one was 18 minutes long. So, it means a lot to the community because they can get involved in it even if they're not the best editor. People are always looking for extra riders, and it makes it that much more complex when you're now having 2, 3, or 4 people in a shot. It can take a lot longer to get that recorded.
Oh, you're exactly right. Now, Flair also asked, how are they noticed in the community? And I don't know if he's just referring to Nick and Mitch, like the community of our channel, or the community as a whole. But I think we do a pretty good job of every week trying to shout out as many different side projects as we can without, making a full-blown advertisement for someone.
Yeah, the way this stuff kind of gets found by the community right now is posted in self-promo channels in different Discord servers or on Reddit, although we've discussed in length that if you post a video on Reddit, it's not really going to get seen. If you post a YouTube link, you have to post the whole video on Reddit's video for people to click on it. So it's harder on there. And then just social media, building, a community of friends who get excited about seeing your videos. So I think that's something that can be done better in the future, hopefully with Riders Republic, if they can share even more community edits, videos, montages, pieces of work that have a bit more thought behind them, and trying to find a way where people can find them and also find new people who are making them. I'm thinking of, I think Bainif we found on Reddit. He posted his first edit there, and it was really good. And since he wasn't too involved in at least our community on our server or some other ones that I jump around and look at every day, he wasn't known by too many people. So, I hope that that's something that we see more of.
Yeah, and we also have to take into account here that Steep was the first game for this community. There wasn't something before Steep that brought all of these same faces together. We built this community around this video game, and now we have an incredible opportunity to take this community and move it over to a brand new game, which looks like Ubisoft is marketing it harder than they marketed Steep in the way beginning. And that, of course, is going to bring a ton more players that aren't already a part of this community. Riders is not just going to be people who played Steep who bought the new game. It is going to be an entirely different batch of riders, of gamers. And the fact that we have this established community already, I see all of these channels skyrocketing. If they can find a way to keep up what they are doing already and just port it over into the new video game, we are all going to gain subscribers. We are going to gain views. The Reddits are going to pick back up. And, once people are in Riders Republic, hopefully they see the nods to Steep and they start hearing whispers of Steep and they buy that game as well. And then there's And then they unlock an entirely different, genre on YouTube where they are finding all of our old Steep videos and all of our old Steep content. So I think we're just at a wonderful spot right now where all of these communities are communicating with each other. They're all talking, they're intermingling, the same people are in multiple communities. It's not like we have little factions that are just out on their own island. We're all a giant family, and we're moving over to this brand new video game. I really think that this new one is just going to skyrocket everything. It is going to be a good day for all of the early adopters from Steep.
I agree, and I am so looking forward to that happening. Now, the last part of his question was, what kind of edits do we like watching the most? So trick heavy, cinematic heavy, what kind of vibes with the music and all, just what catches your eye in general? And I know both of us love a wide variety. We love anything that someone puts out because we see that they're trying to make something happen. So just what do you like?
Well, it is no secret that I am in no way, shape, or form a routine snowboarder or skier. I don't think I've been on the mountain for 2 or 3 years right now, and I'm upset that I missed it this winter, but the window came and went, and with the pandemic and everything, I'll get to it next year. I promise you'll have some videos of me eating snow off of a jump or whatever next year. That being said, the tricks are awesome, but I can't fully appreciate them, I feel, at least. So I'm just going to have to go with cinematics. Having a video that has some awesome action cuts. I'm just going to use the TFG Invitational intro as a baseline. That, to me, is one of the best clips, humble brag, one of the best clips that has ever been created in Steep. It looked like an actual movie trailer that was being shown at theaters across the world. Coming up with those ideas and making the game feel how you want it to feel is something that requires tons of skill, tons of patience, and tons of creativity. You have to have that vision before you dive into something like that. So, of course, anyone can be good at a video game. Anyone can spend the time to learn that difficult trick, but I really feel that it is more difficult to be a director, to be a cinematic director, and come up with something that tells a story that isn't just a trick montage. So I'm going to have to go with cinematic. Of course, music, I don't have a specific vibe of music that I enjoy, like across all videos, just whatever fits it. If you watch a video and you go, hey, why did you have someone playing a kazoo over this? It was a very dramatic part. That's going to take you out of it. So whatever keeps you in the moment is exactly the music that kind of video needs.
Music is one of the most important pieces, I'd say, for me to fully dive in and appreciate and edit.
Agreed.
It has to match the theme, like what the look kind of the video is, but it affects a lot of different things. Like the pacing has to be there. If it's the slower part of the song, don't have as many tricks, do a little bit more cinematic. And then once you get back to the chorus and some of the crazier parts, you want to be pulling out some of your best tricks. I really appreciate the timing that goes into them. If they're hitting exactly on the beat or on the off beat, or when a certain instrument plays a certain note, that's when you can get really creative and just fully hook someone into that video. And that comes from trying to do edits on my own and not getting the music right at first, or not even having the right programs to match the music perfectly. But there's creative ways around it. I've filmed some runs, like a Check My Steez, where I actually started the run and started listening to the song in my headphones at the same time, that everything I was doing in the game or when I was filming the replay was matching up perfectly. And that's the extra effort that I like to see.
Yeah, right. And that just goes back to, it's completely different to just click the share button on your console and upload something to Twitter or YouTube versus uploading a million clips and coming up with a 20-minute creation. Okay, so I think we answered everything. Like, do you feel confident that we answered Flair's questions?
Yeah, we answered his questions at least. I mean, if we ever did a full show, we could talk for hours on any single topic. We've discussed that before, so I think we answered what we could in an Après STEEP episode.
Okay, good. I feel really confident that we covered everything that we needed to here, as well as, obviously just adding more to what we have already said in the past. Good job. Thumbs up all around here. I see one more bullet point in our main topic sheet here. It just says Mitch's big idea. Mitch, what's the big idea?
Well, I thought of it. I read Flair's question. I put it in our document, and then this came to me. So then I started pacing and thinking of ideas. So It's not fully formed yet, but I think it has to happen at this point. And I know you do too, because you love it.
Of course.
We should run a STEEP Film Festival and then eventually Riders Republic Film Festival. The idea being those people who want to share their edits, but like we said, aren't getting discovered. I'll create a forum. You can submit your best edit or montage or movie, or maybe we'll do it in time slots. Like each person gets 10 minutes if they want, up to 10 minutes. So you can couple a few of your edits together if you want. And then we'll pick a weekend and, try find a place where we can host them all or make them a playlist. And then you and I can watch together like live on stream, so we can have people chatting alongside if they want to watch with us, or they can watch separately. And then maybe we'll do some awards, just some basic ones. I don't want it to be a competition. I just want it to be a known time for the community where we're getting together to appreciate all of these videos.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, that is... Wow, holy crap. That could be awesome. I mean, it will be awesome. We're going to have to have a separate meeting here in the next couple of weeks to come up with an idea and times and all that good stuff. But holy cow, yeah, that would be wonderful to just have one day where, hey, wear your pajamas, crack a beer if you're legally able, and just sit back and watch everything that this community has come up with. Dude, that's an A+ idea. That one definitely merits the bullet point, Mitch's big idea. That one's huge, and I really think that's going to be awesome. And that's just one more thing that we can do to highlight the community and all the wonderful content that's coming out of here that most people out there may not know.
Yeah, and just like most of our ideas, it has not been planned out yet. It was thought of last minute, but something we really want to do, and we'll get it on the schedule probably after we got Real Steep, and then we've got, what is our third competition?
TFG Backcountry Brawl, sir. How did you forget about that?
I have no idea, but we'll do it after the Backcountry Brawl or before Riders Republic is released, because we'll do a test run in Steep and then maybe make it a recurring thing in Riders Republic every couple of months or 6 months instead of just once every time the game's out. But I think we have now rambled on a lot because I'm looking at my clock in audition, so I think it's time to move over to the Riders Roundup.
This week's weekly challenge was Picks in the Park. We challenged you guys to get out on the mountains, find your favorite trick park, terrain park, whatever you call it, and snap your nicest pictures. Before we get to our favorites, I just want to call Flair out real quick. I mean, hey dude, great main topic. Can't wait to see that vector artwork that you're putting together for Mitch and myself, but I've definitely seen this picture before because it's the wallpaper on my TV, like right now while we're recording. I cycle like 50 of them and I'm staring at it right now. So I don't know if we do resubmissions. Mitch, can we allow this?
If it is, I would say don't pick it for your favorite for this weekly challenge, but I know you do have a rotating wallpaper. I might get a digital photo album to hang behind me on the wall that just feeds our Google photo albums from weekly challenges so I can rotate through everyone's pixels, but let's go with something fresh.
Yeah, get out of here, Flair. Just kidding, dude. My favorite from this week has to go to Skizzleman. This 90s kit in the X Games half pipe. You got a friend behind you, but that's not who I'm focused on. I'm focused on the 90s kit and this camera angle. I mean, I've just never seen a picture like that. That is an incredible placement. It's kind of right in the crotch area, But, if you look past that, you have the left binding in the foreground and that hand in the back. I mean, this is just, that is such a unique angle. I love the colors playing off of the blues in the X Games with those pinks and those bright greens. This is just stellar. I'm going to cut myself off before I talk for another 20 minutes.
Well, my favorite from this week, aside from mine, because I just loved it when I took it, but I'm going to go with Banis' picture from going off of that cannon rail, and it's just all lake or ocean. I think it's the ocean in Asia, but all the ocean down below. He's holding that, I don't want to get it wrong, he's holding that grab. Yeah, the X grab. I'm just going to go with that. It's either an octo or a tail, I think, but holding that grab just above the water, the sun's hitting the rail perfectly. Can't tell where he's going to land, but I love the framing of it.
Fantastic job to everyone who submitted. Of course, Sofex just smashing it out of the park. I loved this trippy psychedelic one with the melting smiley face in the background along with the UFO, but was not my favorite. Sorry, man. Has to go to Skizzleman. Still, I am firm on my decision here. Mitch, what do we got for him next week?
Next week, the theme is adverts, which is short for advertisements, but I didn't want to put that in the full video. So just come up with your best picture that could be used as an advertisement for one of the companies that's in this game. So you got ski companies, board companies, outfits, any of those. So take a picture showing off that gear, or even come up with some cool quotes or logos on your picture too.
And this isn't a required thing, but take this to your social media, post that picture of your advertisement, advertisement, whatever you want to call it, and tag those companies that you are featuring in there. You may get a response. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are not making ads from Steep for their products, but if you give them a little bit of love, I would flip my lid if someone heard from like K2 or Solomon or whatever. That would just be wild. So give it a shot. Shout them out. Be sure to tag us. Be sure to tag Steep and Riders Republic if you want. But yeah, good luck with that. And we cannot wait to see all of these incredible submissions next week.
Well, we have just a few more things for you this week. These are coming from our self-promo channel in our Discord server. The first one was posted as we were recording last week's, and it is a picture from Unpen. Love the artistic style on this. He's grinding along the rail. Could have been a great photo for pics in the park. This was, I think, the day after it was announced, but just a beautiful photo.
Wonderful job, Unpen. Again, I just love all of those textures. You're kind of knocking at Sofex's heels here. I would love to see a competition between the two of you. But besides the point, we are moving on to our second picture. This one's coming from Pancake. Steepest Legend, Unpen, Nate Hotshot, and Lucas Skip bring you Sunset. I mean, just talk about a trailer, right? Every good movie has to have a fantastic movie poster, and Pancake put together a masterpiece here. Always love the sunsets, love the lens flares, and then you have all of the guys sending it off a huge cliff. Oh, I can't even talk. Oh, and of course, yeah, make sure you go and subscribe to Pancake on YouTube so you are up to date once Sunset debuts. We all are just waiting on the edge of our seats to see this one. That's going to do it for week 11, episode 11 of Après STEEP. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us and listening to us ramble for way too long.
Remember, we have a lot of things going on right now that you can enter, so if you need a refresher, just go back and watch the news segment of this show to catch all of the latest things that you can be a part of.
You can, of course, jump on over to Discord and hang out with us and the community. We talked about it in the main topic, but one of the best places to find all of this wonderful community content is our Discord in the self-promo tab in Steep Chat, etc., etc. You can find the link to join down below. We cannot wait to see you over there. You can also follow us on Instagram at Nick and Mitch YT. That Instagram has a beautiful link tree that will give you all of the links you need for everything that you can submit for in the next couple of weeks here. So go ahead and give that a click. I see traffic's up a little bit from last week, but it's still not where I want it to be, so we need to figure out a way to make that link tree more accessible. I think that's everything.
Make sure you're subscribed because TFG Season 2 is coming real soon. Can't wait to get those events out to you.
All right. We'll see you next week. Stay safe out there. Stay steezy. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.